Ahoy and welcome to Tuesday Night Testing. I am Lee the Pirate Tester, and if you've been here before, thanks for coming back. If you're a first timer, let me explain how this all works. I take a website, so it could be one that I've been given permission to, or it's publicly accessible and designed to be tested on. I spend about an hour going through this site, trying to see what bugs I can find. I generally focus on the UI, as due to the nature of the tooling and the streaming setup I have, things like dev tools and external tools, I haven't quite figured out the best way to do when I'm on a single monitor setup. If you're unaware of who I am, I've been a tester for over a decade now. I've worked in various industries, and I feel that testing is often an invisible role. A lot of people who are in it, who have been testers, can often feel that we are overlooked, or it's just not really known what we do or how we do it. So I thought, what better way to do this than to have a stream where I can show off testing in action, not just a report that comes out to the end of it. For this week's Tuesday Night Testing, I will be looking at a site called academybugs.com. So this is a intentionally faulty site, and it's part of the site uTest. Not a sponsor or affiliated, it's just a site I have used in the past. And when I was trying to work out what site I would test against this week, I actually got one of their marketing emails saying, hey, if you're working on your tester profile, we have a dummy site with some existing bugs in it, can you find them? And I thought, that is perfect for what I'm needing to do. Now, let me just tab over to it. So there's already some examples. So we've got the social share button doesn't work. In this they talk about the severity, the issue type, the frequency, if it's particular browsers, what they do to perform it, your expected results and what they actually get. If you've never seen a bug raise before, this is a quite standard example of it. If you have, then hopefully there is nothing revelatory here. We have send button returns an error page. So this one is higher severity, happens all the time, and they always include a little video of what does it. Wonderful. Video player doesn't work, which is quite frustrating. I imagine if you've got videos on this you want to show off and they're not working, that's not great. I can see why they would class it as a high severity. Article show an error page. Again, high error. Try to click on it. Oops, can't be found. Search button leads to an error. If you've got a merchant site, and I've shown off merchant sites, technically all 3 past sessions now, then you will see how if someone tries to search for something it doesn't work. That isn't ideal. And finally, booking a table doesn't work. That's one they have as a critical. And if you try to, I imagine if I had a website where I wanted people to be able to book something and they couldn't do it, yeah, that is a big problem. So what types of bugs do we have? We've got functional bugs, visual bugs, content, performance, and crashing. So we will try to find some bugs. The first time I loaded this, I inadvertently found one bug. So I will show you what I found. So I found a crash bug. In this bug, the page becomes unresponsive when clicking on a number of results. So I can... This was mainly to remind myself what I've done. So currently this shows all 18 results. Yeah, see 18 things. But I was like, what happens if I see 10? And then this comes up. So that is how I got the first one. There are 25. There are more bugs in the bugs page. Please search it. Okay. So we have got 25 bugs to try and find. And I'd love to see how many of these I can find. I'm also going to be occasionally looking at my phone to look at the chat. And the way I've got this streaming and recording afterwards is people will see the chat at the time the chat is coming up. So Neither saying, these are really nice, clear examples of bug reports. I wonder how many more there are to find. Hopefully, we will. Well, I say we. But I always love input from the chat. We'll find 24. So we are on 125. So let's see if anything happens with sorting. So we've got lowest to highest. We're starting at $15.14, making our way up to some very expensive over-the-shoulder handbags, 478. So it looks like it's going in order, which is good. I don't think they. I don't know if they have it as a bug on here, but I know if I was looking at it as a styling thing, I don't like the different image sizes. For anyone here was for last week, we've seen this previously. Looking at out at the chat, hi Ben and hi Karen. Thanks for coming along and joining me. So yeah, even though it may not be one of the 25, see what happens with Dry to Rose it. I don't like the pictures not being the same size. Crop them, make them smaller, do something to them. I would raise that as a styling bug. So let's see, do all of the sort options work? So at the moment it's rearranging things. We don't get any crashes or any inconsistencies so far. If things are ordering alphabetically, I always get curious how it handles things with numbers. So for example, does it go, if you did 1 to 11, does it do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11? Or does it do 1, 11, 2, 3? Because 1, 1, if you're ordering alphabetically, is before 2. So that's always a nice little thing to look out for. Paul doesn't like double denim. Karen asks, how do you bring up styling bugs without designers being hurt? I mean, potentially it might not even be a design thing. They might have. It depends who came up with the idea if they should be this size. So it could be just a question of we have mixed image sizing. Do we want to change that? If so, would we have it where we crop the image? If you hover over it, it overlays, but then you might have accessibility issues. Do you have it where the image is narrower and you put bordering around it to make it fit? I would, without making it about the designers, it's always about the work, not the individual. So it'd be a case of, I'm seeing this, it feels inconsistent with the page. How was the decision made for this, or is there something we could be done, and make it into a discussion rather than an attack, inviting them in to say, hey, like, what are your thoughts on how this could be changed, or why was it done, or so forth. Alright, so we're still on one. Titling A to Z. Z to A. Yeah, it's rearranging. I would not pay $136.12 for a underground t-shirt. And that's not even buying it directly from London. Alright. See, ordering by newest looks fine because those three pictures are all the same order. So at least it works, so long as you only ever keep this order. Because it feels like these are the newest, you want them big and at the top and shiny. Yeah, cool. Best rating? Where does the rating come from? And most viewed. Okay, so this isn't causing us any problem. Let's see what happens if I try to add to cart. So I've got the image. It takes me back out. Okay. Go to the shop. I have a different... This took me to a different bit. So if I'm on Find Bugs, and I need to unmaximize this to look at the address. So I've got find bugs. Once I was in something, I get store blue hoodie. If I go to shop, I get this. There is no way to get to the store without going to an item first and then going up a level. I mean, so if I wanted to report bugs, you have to pass the current bug report before you can open the next one. Okay. Instructions. The bug can be provided only by starting from the provided link. From the find bugs, select any product and open its image. Issue title, image race broken maintainment. Oh, I think this is kind of telling me what I'm meant to be looking for. Right. So this is preemptively giving us an answer. So if I click on the image loads. Okay. I've got a little X over here, which isn't, in terms of accessibility and contrast thing, that's not great. Can I get to it? So I can tab to it, it overlays. I'm pressing space to get to it. Okay. Ooh. In this bug, the short description of products are not in English. I just assumed it was because they're using like some variation of lorem ipsum where they just want dummy text. I have a bonk dog in the chat. Evening, mate, it's Clive. My son has taken over my YouTube, hence the name. Clive, give him his own YouTube. I've got like 2-3 YouTube accounts I use for different things. Like the personal browsing YouTube account is not the same as my pirate tester account. But having a bonk dog in the chat is quite funny. So I open bugs, clicks on the find bugs link in navigation, open a products, not in English. Okay. There are more bugs in the product details page. Please keep searching. Additionally, check a product with color options. Ooh. Well, whilst we're on this page, what happens if I click? So I've got... Can I type into this? So I can type into it. Can I type in 0? Ah, no, I don't want to press that again. I know that one. Right, I want to add 0 to cart. So they put validation in saying you must have greater than or equal to 1. That is nice. So I can't put in -1. Well, this is a contradiction. So you can't say a minimum purchase amount of 0 is required, and then if I want 0, have a different overlay. That to me is a different bug. And it might not be, probably not part of the 25 they want me to look for. But to me it's still a bug. Right. So I can leave a reply. So I got a comment box. All required fields are marked with an asterisk. So comment is optional. I can I can just change the size. That's really slow. Yeah, that's rubbish. So name is saying is mandatory, email is mandatory, website is not. The comment, weirdly, is not. So what happens if I try to post a comment with nothing in it? Error. Please fill the required fields, name and email. Okay. It's not nice it takes you to a separate page for that error, but it gives an error. Right. When I was speaking to a friend of mine for advice on stream, I was saying, because I'm not on camera when I have to stop to have a drink, it feels really weird when listening in apparently, and because I'm on a standalone mic, it's much more difficult to mute, so bear with me. Right. So it's surprising. Certain things I would have expected. So I am Lee. My email. We're going to use good old bug magnet. I want an email address. I'm going to put in a valid email address. I want email@domain.com. That is one they put in. Please type a comment. Well, you've not asked for that. That doesn't have a star on it. Can I leave a single space? Please type a comment. I put a comment in. Can I have a single character? Oh. There are 0 comments. Well, is it because I'm awaiting moderation? So I can go to that specific comment. Well, where's my comment gone? It's because I've got an approved moderator hash. This, I feel like that's dangerous information to have. Can I change my currency? Yeah! If I try to change my currency, it crashes. So in this page, the bug freezes when changing the currency. They've said it's high severity. I tried to go into it, and it gets unhappy. Wonderful. Happens every time. There are more bugs in the product detail page. Please keep searching. I will look for a product with colour options, but I'm still in here. Can I search with an empty search field? Okay. No. Just search for an ah. Well, I get search result, which is cool. I wonder if the professional suit has colour options. It does. And they look like they are going to be questionable. Do I have blue? Where's my blue? Orang? That's not right. Oh, apparently yellow is also misspelled. Let's have a look at yellow, shall we? Well, I pressed orang. That's not orang. I know on other sales sites. Just quickly notice in the chat, Karen, I might have missed it, but I didn't see the bug magnet menu if you're using the right click to select the input. I can do that again for you, Karen. That is fine. I can put it in. Well, I've already done that one. Yeah, fine. So an email. When I go to right click, I have bug magnet and I have a good range of options. So I have lorums, I have names, postcodes, cities, email addresses, URLs, numbers, amounts, currencies, payment cards, text size, whitespace, format exploits, Unicode, operational mode, and then I can customize and do things. So this is all using... It doesn't show on the strobe. Oh no! That is really infuriating. Right, well at least I've verbalised it to you. It's very annoying it's not showing you. Which makes me think, I'm surprised why, because if I'm right click on a field, I thought it would do stuff because it's still part of the cursor. So that is useful to know and incredibly frustrating. So when I am using Bug Magnet, you can't see it. So I will describe what happens when I do it. So it's useful for anyone who's able to listen and but multitask. So when I right click on the email field, I get my cursor overlay. I've said I want to use Bug Magnet. If I go to email addresses, I have 2 options, valid and invalid. And with valid, I get a wide range of stuff. I could get a simple email address, a dot in the address, subdomain. There's a whole massive list of them. Would you need to share screen and not menu? It is sharing the Chrome tab pool, so I would have. That's why I thought it would have done it, because it shows the cursor. So that's why I'm a bit confused why it's not. If I had a big enough desk where I could comfortably put 2 monitors, then I could always have it where I could stream off one monitor and I can do supportive things on the other. But because I've got OBS Studio open and Windows Media Player and all sorts of other things, I want to find a better way to do it. So I will try to find a way over the next week how it can do these things. Apologies all. I was not aware. It's never come up previous times I've used Bug Magnet, but I think that's down to how much focus I put on it. But good to know. So yeah, so with there, that's how I would end up populating it with something I want. So we found out that orange and yellow. If I click this, does it change the colour? I'm not a fan of that pink. And is it really pink? I feel that pink's not pink. So there's 12 left in stock. The category is specials. Okay, so from that I can get to however they decide what the specials are. I can see the manufacturer. Well, it's always reassuring in a weird way to find a 404 that the page can't be found. Well done, it opens an error page. We're up to 5 people. We are a fifth of the way there. There are more bugs. Check our product color options. We have. Right, do these open? Yeah, I'm not posting these things to my real stuff. Well, that doesn't work. Yay, the Twitter share box is broken. It is, especially now because it was a Twitter. I guess if you're Windows 11, you can. I'm on Windows 10, unfortunately, Paul, so I can't even do like a Windows 11 trick, and my computer is not suitable for upgrading to 11, apparently. I've had it a while. I mean, that, and how old is that Twitter icon? It's not even the bird, let alone the axe. Does emails do things? Well, that didn't do much. Pinterest. Does Pinterest work? At least it makes me think of my stream last week. Deborah Reed was in the chat with me, the ever lovely Deborah, and she was questioning in the social media tabs, are they opening new browsers? MySpace, blimey. Do they open in new tabs, or does it keep you in your current one? As from an accessibility point of view, you want it to open a new tab. So they are. I will say they were all doing that. MySpace isn't. I'd love to know what it's going to do with this. So in the chat, Paul is the sad panda, probably because I'm on Windows 10. And he was jokingly saying the bird is no longer the word. Yeah. I won't get into that though. Right. Let's get back to findings and bugs. Right, so we were in the professional suit, not power suit. Right, can I sign in? What happens if I sign in and I have nothing? Okay, so it takes me to an error log fail thing. Okay. That's not nice. There we go. Yeah, it's misaligned straight away. I look at that and go, that looks rubbish. Like, there are more bugs in the authentication section. Ooh, good. That's not English. And we've seen they don't like not English before. The new user section is not in English. Yep. And for me, the nice thing about doing this with the human eye is, depending on what your automation is and how it's set up, is it just looking that the button exists and it wouldn't look at the layout, or if the layout was to change but it was meant to have changed, say they changed the tone of it, or they wanted to sign in moved around and it was slightly off, with the automation fail because you didn't update the thing and blah 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 blah. So referencing back to the accessibility thing, Paul saying, I would say you don't want a new tab, you want the same tab so you can use the back button new tab only if it's announced. I'm not experienced enough in those areas to say, well, things should. I prefer a lot of stuff opening new tabs, because if I was doing something on that page and it didn't say it was going to move me on, I might have been typing out my review, working on an order, but not completed the page, and then clicking on that to lose it all would be infuriating from my perspective of user journey. But like so many things, that doesn't mean my opinion is the correct opinion. It is just how I feel. Yeah. Can we create an account from here? I can register. Ooh. So I must give a first name, mandatory. We've not said these are mandatory. It's just a lot of the world is so set up that if you see a little asterisk something, it means it's mandatory. Last name, email. Retype your email. Password. Thanks, Google. You can just be a strong password. We'll get rid of that for the moment. So if I try to register and this is empty, a password of at least 6 characters. You haven't told me anywhere. There must be at least 6 characters. I like it if you're going to give me rules for passwords, tell me them. Because otherwise someone might just do like... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, they match now. Or if I'm having a password, I like having the option to unmask it when I type it, because if I'm personally creating the password rather than using any form of password safe, if I've got to type it in twice, I like to see what I've done, because if I am typing in a suitably complex password or passphrase, as I know more things prefer these days, then I want to make sure I'm doing it right. So I must have, so we'll have Lee Marshall, because the pirate tester has a real name. I'm going to use bug magnet again for, we're going to put in an invalid one. So on bug magnet, the top option of invalid email is no @ or domain. So please include an @ the email address. Plain address is missing an @ I hope, is that cursor overlay showing me the correct thing? I want to say it's not showing the cursor overlay on the stream, which is infuriating, because it's still part of the screen. It's still part of the window. Oh, silly things. Right, so we'll get rid of them. So we will put in email@domain.com. I'm curious if this is going to send an email to somewhere. Can I register? Cool. The email you have already has an account. Right. They probably don't consider that a bug for this site. I do. Because if I'm a bad actor and I have a whole list of email addresses that I'm trying to do bad things with, I might not know who has an account here. I now know that email address has an account here, and then a bad actor could start trying to do things with that email address. Whereas even if you already exist, if it has a thing of like please check your email address or something, it doesn't give away if you're an existing person, and then if you're an existing person, treat it as like a forgot your password option or so forth. Account enumeration vulnerability. That is a very technical term, Neil. Thank you very much. It was bound to have a very fancy name. Thank you. So yeah, because I've worked in finance, so it was always very important to not give information like that away. So in this case, if something's to do with people, they might go, well, you know, it's people spending money, they can't do anything with it. Well, they will now know your address. If they can log in with your details, they'll know your address, what products you've ordered. They can still find out a whole load more about you. So yeah. Neil's saying it's really bad on things like, for example, dating sites for reasons you could imagine. Yeah, pretty much there's never a good reason for this bug. So I don't know if they have it as one of their report bugs. I'm not trying to do one of these. So have I got to do this before I can raise an actual proper bug? The image is broken when zoomed in. Well, we're going to try that then. Right, let's go back. Right, can I sign in with empty things? No. What happens if I forgot my password? What does it try to do? Go on, bug magnet. Let's see what happens if I say email a domain. Yeah, so I can't retrieve a password. What is our bug or automatically generated bug report going to give us? We don't see the drop downs from the page either. At least it's something for like this is like I am not some like years and seasoned streamer, and there might be a giveaway. So this is now my 4th Tuesday night testing. It's my 5th week. I had to miss a week due to illness. So it's still very much I am learning and trying things out along the way. And Ben saying it looks like this is like a capture the flag where you need to find bugs in the right order, which is yeah, not great, but you know there is more bugs in the authentication section. Can I still sign in from there? No, right. Well, because they're telling us we need to find and raise this one, let's see what happens. I mean, I'm scrolling in, I'm zooming out. Ugh, that looks horrible. Go back to 100%. We're at 500% zoom. The image looks fine. Down to 25% zoom. Oh, hi Benny. I know that's not your proper name, but that's what you're on here. Don't worry about being late. You're still, you're still here, which is lovely. So for yourself and anyone else who is who missed the intro at the beginning, I am on a intentionally broken demo site called academybugs.com, which is part of uTest, and there are 25 bugs to be raised. I'm on 9. Yeah, let's have report bugs open in a new tab. It's the home page. Ah, so I don't need to be on a proper. I need to be on the home page and zooming in or out. All right, not that proper home, but. I mean, that doesn't look rubbish when it's zoomed in. It's. Well, at least it gets me thinking about zooming in or, conversely, zooming out. Ah, that doesn't work. That is hard to read. The product image is broken when zoomed in. I mean, it's not broken when it zooms in. So am I going mad with this, folks? I found a film which is in their list of 25, save it for the end. Make sure you do, Neil, because generally I last about 1 hour, so it is 8:35 PM within the UK for me, so about 25 minutes left of this stream. So instruction. Oh, okay, right. So let's follow the instructions for it. So from the Find Bugs page, select any product, then open its image. Yeah, but now I can't read that. So select the correct option. Windows 10, homepage. The product's image is broken when zoomed in. The product image is broken when zoomed in. Windows, product details page. The product image can't be zoomed in. Windows 10, product details page. The product image is broken when zoomed in. Or product details page. The product image is broken when zoomed in. I mean, it's not broken when we're zooming in. Is it the X? Oh no, because even the X is still there. This is like, I've never done a bug like capture the flag type thing. And this is also partly why I sometimes really hate like very detailed test cases, because if something doesn't fit with one step, it completely knackers the whole thing. So we need to select the product. So we're on product details page. Okay. This is visual. I mean, it's not really happening for me. So do you want to... Right. I think we need to have a look at light brown purse. Let's go and find light brown purse, because that's in our steps. Pressing home takes me the wrong thing. Right. Light brown purse. Let's have a look at you. Maybe it doesn't mean browser zoom, it just means the big image zoom. I don't know, because it's not breaking when I hover over it, and it seems to be fine when I click on it as well, Paul. So even if it is wanting us to try and do this one, the image is displaying that is that image. That is definitely that. And when I click on it, it's that. So I don't know. Right, I think I'm just not going to use their report bugs thing. Because it's not happening for me. And I feel like they're full of it. So we're going to continue exploring this product. So in the store, we can look at all items. We can look at accessories. We have a little plus to expand it. Cool. We can look at fashion type, or weekend wear. We can look at women's pants. And immediately my mind goes, I know this is an American site, whereas I'm British and women's pants mean something very different. So with women's pants, we get a professional suit. Okay. Is that the only one? We can filter by price, but there's only one thing, so it's already filtered by price. Yeah! Filter by price doesn't work in the product details or product list pages. Does it not? Okay. We'll have to go back to everything and see what happens, because when we were filtering by price with only one thing, it was hard to tell. So a list of products and ranges shown, the same page reloads. But I am only seeing one thing. That's what I wanted. It says there would be one. I only get one. So I feel like that bug is even lying to me. Because if I hover over something, I have my cursor icon where I can select products. If I hover over add to cart, annoyingly you probably can't see it at the bottom of the screen, but it's showing me a web address for add to cart. So let's see if we want to add to cart. View cart. Right. Annoyingly, another styling issue is this sign-in box. I think my cursor is successful. Yeah, my cursor at least shows. It goes over this line. And annoyingly, from a UI perspective, that bothers me. And again, that's where I'd pick on... I wouldn't pick on the design, but I'd bring it up with the design and be like, hey, when I'm getting this, it's crossing over the footer banner. Is there any way we can push it down a bit? You know, it would be a very low priority defect, but it happens every time. Shopping cart. Oh, so when I hover over shopping cart, it tells me what's in it. I want to check out. Let's go back to my cart. So I've got my cart, but I've still got a filter by price. Why have I still got filter by price when I'm in my cart? So I can increase the number. I can decrease the number. I can't decrease to 0. I would have to press X there. So can I increase the amount? It cannot be increased past 2. I haven't tried to increase it past 2 yet, computer. You spelled it for me. It's like, spoiler alert. It does count as a bug. Click it. Oh, cool. Thanks, man. We're all playing along at home, aren't we? So if anyone else is finding interesting things, feel free to say in the chat so I can, you know... Why has it took me to here? Oh, because I was still trying to sign in, wasn't I? I want to go back to my shopping cart. Right, I can't get to my shopping cart from here. I need to select a product to then get back to my shopping cart. You're only up to 11 so far, Ben, but have you got any ones that I haven't? That's the thing, because you've seen all the ones I've made. You've been along for the journey. Okay, I want an extra small, a small, medium, large, extra large. So the names match to the sizes. Okay. And I can't change the colour of it. Can I add 3 to my cart? So I could add more than 2 when I'm first buying it, but I can't update it past 2. That to me is an even different one. Ben is happy to compare. Well, the nice thing is to keep track of what bugs you've got by clicking on the bug icon. You can go, right, what have I found, and it will remind you what you found, which is nice. So if anyone else is also playing along at home, can I redeem a gift card? No, it's not a valid number. Cool. Can I apply a coupon? Cool. Can I continue shopping? Yes. Can I go back to my cart? Don't show me these codes. There we go. There are unreadable symbols in the shopping cart pop-up. Yeah. Why am I seeing these codes? I'm up to 13, folks. We're past the middle. Neil's on 7. Right, Neil is smashing us. But I also know Neil has been in testing longer than I have. So Neil gets to spoil us with some answers soon. Oh, good, it's figurative fire at work. I've got to go. Thanks for showing me. Well, thanks for coming along, Karen. Shame that work is on fire for you, but I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been nice having you here. Right, can I check out? My shipping is $8. I haven't even told you what shipping I want. So I have returning customer. Okay. Can I select a country? But not every country has a zip code. So I am in the United Kingdom. So I'll say United Kingdom. That's wrong. Don't call it a zip code. Change it. So I get the county. Well, okay. Do I get that for different countries? Go back to the United States. So I can select a state. Cool. What happens if I press continue to shipping? Please correct the errors in your checkout details. I need a zip code, city, address, first name, last name, country, valid phone number, an email address. So if I'm not a returning customer, do I have to create an account? If I try and complete this with the bug magnet email address, is it going to go, you're already an existing customer? Does it have West Midlands in county? It isn't. I mean, it is. It's just not an original shire, which is a very different thing. It's like a municipality or I don't. Yeah. I live in the West Midlands. No, we're not. We have things for Wales, Warwickshire, Northern Ireland. Oh yeah, there we go. West Midlands. Yep. West Midlands is here, Paul. We exist. Please enter your zip code. Okay, A. Do you take A? AB1. 2CD. Okay. So at least it seems to know zip code rules for the UK, where it's generally 2 letters, 2 to 3 numbers, 2 letters. Have I got does Bug Magnet have a phone number one in it? I don't think it does. I missed the number 2 as well. Right, so the phone number is the right kind of length. Paul Coles is telling me it's an urban conurbation. Why do you want me to use SW110AA, Paul? That feels like it's like the BBC address or something. It feels familiar. Why does it feel familiar? I am... Right, this time we're sending it to the Pirate Tester. The address is 1 Fake Street in somewhere. Okay, so now I have the options for shipping. So it was rubbish how it was saying shipping was $8 before it gave me the choice to choose. I don't like the continue payment button being all the way under here. Like this, I'm not liking. Do the radio buttons work? And it doesn't like treat it like a checkbox, which is cool. I love how 2-day shipping is more expensive than next day 1 day. So I will pay for the fastest shipping, which is not the most expensive shipping. Oh, it's Houses of Parliament or Buckingham Palace. It's just longer than normal. Right, can I continue to payment? Pay by direct deposit. You've selected the manual. You haven't given me a choice. You've selected. I have. Well, yeah, fine. I want to edit my billing address. Okay, cool. It did let me edit it. The font was horrible. I'm surprised it didn't class that as an automatic defect. Yeah, I don't like that. and it'll be the same here, and I imagine that won't break it. Well, I know there's like so I'm in the West Midlands, which is why I picked it on there and had this debate with Paul. But I know, for example, like Leamington, Kenilworth, those kind of areas, they have a CV postcode, even though, I mean, they're in Warwickshire, they're not even West Midlands. Like I grew up, I had spent like a year of my life in you can tell this is England, the town of Gaydon. But that was a CV, and it was like CV11 or something. Like it's a 2-digit CV code, so I know 2 digits postcodes, like CV, like a 2 letters, 2 numbers, and then number 2 letters is not uncommon and not restricted to just that. If you're not using bug bank, get some good example inputs. Right, let's get back to our shipping. We want $15.95 shipping. We continue to payments. Can I edit the cart before I finish it? I only want one of each. Oh, because I change it and update, it refreshes the thing. Oh, that's annoying. Right. Let's go back to check it out. So it's good that it does let us go back to the start of the checkout details journey, which is nice. It's not crashing out on us there. Let's get back to our payments. So I've used that. I've done these. I'm going to change my shipping. Oh, cool. So if I'm changing these here, it's automatically updating. The grand... Oh, that was an accident. The grand total is $100 more than the sum of the products in the cart. So it is. That was a fun accidental click. I'm up to 14. I am catching up with Neil. He's still in the lead. He's probably got some more now. Do you want to subscribe to our email list? Yeah, sure. Let's submit the order. You have found 40 bugs. Clicking some order. So. Yeah, but I still want it. Even though it's not it's a fake thing, I'd still like to tell me I've done something. Right, let's go back to our professional suits because that was like colourful and stuff. Right, annoyingly I'm using bug magnet, but it's more because I want some text size. So one of the options is massive pile of lorem ipsum. So I'm going to steal it out, copy paste it in. I mean, that's surprising. 403 access forbidden. Sorry, we're not allowed to proceed. To automate requests from spam posting software. I'm guessing it's because they're all too similar. Well, I wanted to try and get some character limit breaking, and I inadvertently triggered some security protection. I mean, it's sort of nice it does that. Test@test.com. Not even. I can't even spell test. Apparently, I'm tat. www.google.com. Right. Can I put in my wave upon wave of text in there? No. sound of me smashing my keyboard with a bunch of things and accidentally pressing cap lock. You need some Kafka from Blind Text Generator. I mean, I've mentioned it before. I like using Alice in Wonderland to paste the entire text, but I haven't got that preset on. I have it all set up on my work computer. It just doesn't. I think because I've tried to do stuff, it's now just going to keep saying it's unhappy. So I'm not going to keep doing that. So it is 8:56 p.m. local time for me. So I'll be wrapping up in a few minutes. So Neil, would you like to spoil us with some of the bugs you have found? Here's my favourite one. They don't count as a bug. If you type null in the product search box, it returns all the results. Right. I need to get into. I hate the fact that the only way to get into search is by going into a product. So let's type in null. I think I broke it. Just because I've been doing too many naughty things. So yeah, I think I'm inadvertently I'm forbidden in Hillsworth. Yeah, I think it just doesn't like me anymore. Let's go back to my car. What else have you got for me, Neil, that might be able to work for me? I've got a feeling anything I try and do won't work now. Oh, right, yeah, okay. Like if anyone's using it, the big question mark at the top is a tutorial. So it guides you through what's going on. Did you see the MySpace one just above? I think when I tried MySpace, it wasn't doing much, but I think I've knacked it. Okay, there we go. So yeah, please wait spinner. I mean, Neil, when you review what you've got, because at least here it can tell you what they are. If you want to put it in the chat or when this is all finished in the comments afterwards, that would be wonderful. Because then if I ever get to try and use this site again and I'm not forbidden, I can go, oh, cool. As well as for anyone who wants to try and echo their own things. I've loved how I'm effectively forced to end my stream tonight because I'm forbidden from using this site anymore because I've been too naughty. Which is fun. I've enjoyed tonight's session. It's been wonderful having those of you in the chat joining in, as well as the style of site where, again, it's an intentionally buggy site, but it is telling you when it finds bugs, which is nice, and it's even telling you, like, let's have a look at number 5. So it's saying what they consider to be the severity, the type, and so forth. I'm curious if there's anything different between if I was using, say, Edge versus Chrome, and yeah. They class that as a bug. Oh, cool. Right, so yeah. 15 out of 25. I think that's not bad for an hour's work. An hour's unpaid work at that. So yeah, I will prepare to wrap up for the night. So if you've enjoyed this, the cliched YouTube things of, you know, likes, comments, all that, it gets YouTube to help share me to people. Down at the bottom of the screen, along here I think it is, hopefully it's showing off, I think it's in blue so it doesn't work while the screen's grayed out. The hashtag Tuesday Night Testing, which is what I ended up calling this, as well as Pirate Testing, where I was egotistical enough to come up with my own hashtag, and when I use it on LinkedIn it's only me, and when I use it on Twitter there was like 2 other things a couple of years ago, but otherwise it's all me. If you like what I do and, you know, want to help me out at any point, like I know Ben has previously, I have a Ko-Fi, I did have like looking for work previously. That is now progressing really well. So whilst I can't announce things, things are in motion, which is looking optimistic. Yeah, I intend to be back on same time next week. The time of day is for here works really well for me. Hopefully it works for you all. If you have suggestions of sites you would like me to test in the future, you might own a site that you would like me to test on, like I've done with a couple of people, or you know a publicly accessible site that is designed for testing against. So again, I don't want to test a real site where I haven't got permission to be there, as whilst I'm not hacking, I'm using ethical hacking like perspective on it, of I only want to test where I'm allowed, because to me it shows good behaviour. Not everyone agrees with that, but these are my thoughts and I'm entitled to them. Yeah, so 9:02, it is nice to wrap up. Thank you all for joining me, and I hope to see you all again soon. Thank you very much.